Hare Krishna and welcome everyone back to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Topic for today's discussion is how to perform bhakti intelligently. And in our message, we mention about the role that intelligence has. Should we use intelligence? Should we give up intelligence? And how best we can use intelligence to perform bhakti nicely. So we'll discuss something about that with reference to one beautiful verse that comes in Bhagavad Gita 2.49. Just to begin with, we're discussing Bhagavad Gita when the process of getting transformed. Uh, After learning Bhagavad Gita, after studying Bhagavad Gita, after hearing these sessions, our values should change. There should be a transformation we should start witnessing in ourselves as we begin to listen to the words spoken by Lord, various instructions given by Him, and the interaction, the communication, the conversation between His pure devotee and Himself. When we when you get exposed to these things, our purification process begins. We may know, we may not know, but to a great degree, our purification process has already started. And when we get purified, we get purified of our lower inclinations. We get purified from our lower desires. We get purified from sensual thoughts that might be troubling us. And so this is the process. It will not overnight, they will not disappear overnight, but their power start reducing. The vigor, the urgency with which these thoughts used to capture our mind earlier, that no longer will happen. You will be able to deal with those thoughts in much better way than what you were doing, what you were able to do earlier. So so slowly and surely we definitely see improvement as we get exposed to the verses from Bhagavad Gita. We try to understand, learn and understand the verses from Bhagavad Gita. We try to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We start regularly visiting temple and meet devotees, meet take darshan of Lord, regularly start taking prasad, honoring prasad. All of these will push us towards transformation. We will see our value system changing, our likes, dislikes changing, and allow that to happen if it is happening. If it is not happening, hopefully it will happen because the process is potent. It is we who resist the change, because of which we may be seeing a delayed response in some people, but in general it should happen for everyone. It has happened in past, it will happen today if we are sincere enough and humble enough to apply this devotional service process in our life. So, don't resist. If you find something changing inside you, don't resist. This is exactly what we want to be. This is exactly we want to happen. A patient, when he get goes to hospital, wants to get cured. He should not fight with doctors and nurses and remain sick forever. Then the whole purpose of he coming to the hospital gets defeated. So patient should hope to see transformation in himself. Patient should endeavor to witness that transformation in himself. And he should cooperate with the process. He should help himself in the process. At least he should not. It's like when people are, when the car doesn't start instantly, some people have to push the car from behind, and the devotees who are trying to help us are like those who push car from behind. Now it's our effort should be to get to start the car and start driving it all by ourselves as early as possible. At least we should not press brakes when other devotees are trying to push from behind. That will that will just create a mess, and then they will eventually get frustrated and will stop pushing, and that is our loss. We will not be able to go to the distance that we want to. So transformation is that journey We should embrace openly. We should not resist. We should not put brakes. We should not press brakes when people are helping us with that transformation. So we should help ourselves. We should help them transform us, and that's how we will be able to get complete benefit of studying Bhagavad Gita systematically. Battlefield, we discuss, this is where we are battling out various options, various choices every day, every minute. Should I do this? Should I do that? What to do? Arjuna had a similar dilemma, and we all have similar issue. What to do? When to do, how to do, and this is where we get caught up in most of the time. So Arjuna is asking these beautiful questions to Krishna on our behalf, and we should be thankful, we should be grateful to Arjuna for having asked these beautiful questions, in response to which Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, which is now available to all of us for study, application, and getting benefited out of it. As much benefit as Arjuna got, we all can get. So, so let's take a look at what we have discussed so far in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita starts, Srila Prabhupada explains setting the scene. It starts by setting the scene where Srila Prabhupada explains the story, the series of events that led to the war. It's not that overnight some people decided that we should have a war. There was series of atrocities that were performed on Pandavas, which they tolerated throughout their life, and when after completing all the conditions of gambling match, the fulfilling all the conditions of the gambling match, when they demanded their own kingdom back, the Indraprastha back, they were refused. They were refused, and very arrogantly Duryodhana said कि सुई की नोक जितनी जमीन भी मैं आप लोगों को नहीं दूंगा. And Pandavas were Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are administrators. They are supposed to protect. They are protectors. They are administrators. And if they don't have land, how what will they do? They can't become Brahmanas. They can't become Vaishyas. So they have their own prescribed duties, and they are powerful Kshatriyas. They are not ordinary Kshatriyas who are begging for their kingdom. They were asking for their own rightful kingdom back, and they were refused. They were refused, and even Lord Krishna says, even if you give us five villages, I will convince Pandavas not to fight a war. Don't insist on Indraprastha, you keep it. But give these five villages, and the war can still be avoided. Dhritarashtra refused to intervene. Duryodhana demonstrated his arrogance, and he insulted Lord Krishna. He even tried arresting Lord Krishna, and then then the war becomes unavoidable. Bhagavad Gita begins with the beautiful verse that Dhritarashtra is asking out of ignorance, demonstrating his own ignorance, ignorance of dharma, ignorance of ignorance of knowledge about spirit and matter. And the Dhritarashtra is calling out to Sanjay, asking him to explain what's happening on the battlefield, using his divine vision that he got from Vyasadeva. So Sanjay was given this vision so that he could explain the war to Dhritarashtra, and and also explain the series of events that are happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyotsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kim Kuruvata Sanjaya is the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Dhritarashtra speaks. In response to which, Sanjay starts describing whatever he was seeing on the battlefield. And what he saw? He saw Duryodhan approaching Bhishma and Drona and start speaking with Drona. He's encouraging Dronacharya to protect Bhishma, to make sure that they don't have they don't allow their soft corner for Pandavas to affect their fighting skills during this war. Duryodhan didn't wanted the soft corners that both Bhishma and Drona had for Pandavas to affect their fighting ability in the war. He wanted to win this war at any cost, and he knew that unless Bhishma and Drona fight this war to the fullest their capacity, it is impossible for him to single-handedly win this war. So he wanted, though Bhishma and Drona were on his side physically, but he also wanted them mentally and emotionally. He didn't wanted them to think about Pandavas as the ones who have been deprived of their rights. He wanted them to fight ferociously against Pandavas, even kill Pandavas, so that he can easily win this war. And he knew that both Bhishma and Drona were capable of doing all of that. And so he's encouraging all his warriors, especially Bhishma and Drona. Arjuna, in the meanwhile, ask his chariot driver, Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, to drive chariot in between two armies, so that before the war starts, let him. He wanted to take a close look at those who have assembled on the battlefield for fighting, and seeing all his friends, his relatives, the people he knew, people whom with whom he's had relationship, had interactions in past, seeing all of them assembled on both sides of the army, he became confused and not able to understand what is right course of action for him, what I should do. A lot of question, a lot of us have this question ourselves, and here Arjuna was grappling with the same question: what should I do? Should I can kill all of these people, but should I, just because, but they are all my family members, so I, just because I'm powerful, should I kill my weaker family members, or should I protect them, my weaker family members? So Kula Dharma needed him to protect his relatives. Kshatriya Dharma needed him to kill those who are standing on the side of adharma, no matter who they might be. Kshatriyas are protectors of society. If Kauravas could do so much atrocity with Pandavas, imagine how much atrocities they could do on the general society. If they could dare bring um, bring the Kulavadhu, Draupadi, into the assembly, full assembly, and in front of everyone, they had a thought and desire, and they acted on that desire to disrobe Draupadi in front of everyone, dishonor Draupadi in front of everyone in this way. Imagine what kind of atrocities they can be performing on the common people. Now she's the wife of five most powerful men in the universe at that time, but even she was treated in that such a bad way, and so they were not the fit rulers, and Pandavas needed to fight this war in order to uproot this weed, to protect the crop, to general protect the general masses. Just like a farmer has to ensure that the weed is completely removed from the farm, otherwise it can damage the farm crop badly. So that is violence. Removing that weed, he had to get on his knees, and with all his force he has to remove that weed right from the root, and throw it much outside the boundary of his farm, so that it does not interfere with the crop. It In order to protect the crop, he had to remove the weed right from its root. Now that may be violence, but that is necessary violence, necessary to protect the larger population. And that was Kshatriya Dharma that Arjuna had. So he was confused which one is higher. And this is the battle we will always have. I may have two duties. Should I go to office and do my duty as a there, or should I stay at home and look after my aging parents? One will always have confusion. So citing various reasons, Arjuna thought to himself, thought through the problems that he had, and he came up with his own solution without consulting to Krishna. And he thought it's not, his conclusion was that it is not proper to fight this war only for getting some kingdom, only for the winning a piece of land on which we will become rulers. It is not necessary to fight this war. Having declared of his decision, instead of asking Lord to what to do, he declared to Lord, this is not going to fight. I cannot fight. I will not fight. And then, after having taken this decision, he's feeling extremely pathetic. He's not able to stand on his feet. He's not able to. He's crying. His Arjuna is crying. It's a big news. Had there been social media, it would have come on all social media platforms that Arjuna started shedding tears. Um, but because Kshatriyas were known for their heroics, for their tej, for their kshatra tej, for their austerity, their capacity to do penance, and they were not the ones to cry. They were not the ones who would cry. They can die but they will not cry. But that kind of a reputation that kshatriyas had, and Arjuna was the topmost kshatriya. He was the most formidable warrior of his time, and he started crying. He gave up his gandiva, not knowing what to do. He's sitting in his chariot, and then in that condition he confirms to Krishna that has he taken a right decision? What is best for me, O Krishna? Please tell me. And Krishna is waiting for Arjuna to surrender. He didn't intervene during the entire first chapter. Arjuna's own decision made him miserable. And but then, not knowing what to do, Arjuna surrendered to Krishna, asking for instructions what he should do, what is best for me. Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha. Krishna begins his instruction by giving knowledge about the self, or atma. He's teaching to Arjuna that differentiate between what is spiritual and what is material. The spiritual, which is eternal; material is temporary. Spiritual is full of bliss, full of knowledge. Material is temporary, is miserable, no knowledge. So have this basic understanding, O Arjuna, and then look at the same event, same scenario, same scene. And then you will get, when you look with knowledge, you make sense of the situation. An economist, we may see we may see a chart which has line going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it may not make any sense to us. But the same chart is seen by an economist. He will say the graph moving upward and downward. It could be a demand curve, it could be a supply curve, it could be a GDP curve, it could be any other graph that is showing ups and downs, and an economist can make sense out of it. A doctor will see an x-ray and he can make a sense out of it. To a common man, this x-ray film will make no sense. He will try, even if he spend whole day looking through that x-ray, it will not give him any knowledge. But the same x-ray film, when viewed by a doctor, he will immediately draw conclusions. Why? Because we see through the eyes of our knowledge. We just don't see by our eyes, but we have jnana chakshu. We see through our knowledge also. So, uh, Krishna wanted Arjuna to look at the same situation with the eyes of knowledge, eyes of knowledge about the soul. So this is the first knowledge. Atma Gyan is the knowledge of the soul, which tells Arjuna, which he told Arjuna, that what is born is material, and what will get killed is also material. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu, dhruvor janma mritasya cha. But both This Janma and Mrityu is that of the body. Body gets born. Soul is never born. Soul is never going to get killed also. So if you want to protect body of your grandparents and guru, it is impossible to do. But if you want to harm the soul of your Bhishma and Drona, even that is impossible to do because the soul cannot be harmed. You cannot destroy soul. You cannot kill a soul, and the body you cannot protect. Body will change form in the lifetime itself. Body is changing from youth, from boyhood to youth to old age, and at the end when body becomes useless, the chemical composition becomes useless, soul acquires new body. So the spiritual spark which is occupying the present body and body of all these kings was never born. It cannot be killed by any means. Hence, in the discharge of your duty as a kshatriya, you should not hesitate killing them if they choose to stand on the side of adharma. After speaking at length about the concept of soul, Krishna is clarifying to Arjuna about the doubts of sinful reactions, and if he fails to perform your prescribed duty, he says you will certainly incur sin. Further, he's also clarifying the doubt about enjoyment. If you think enjoyment is your goal, then then jatasya hi dhruvor mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Sorry, the 37th verse, he says that even if you hatova prapsasi swargyam jitva va moksha se mahim, that if you die in the battlefield fighting for the righteous reasons, you will attain Svarga. And if you get killed, if you win, if you get killed, you will attain Svarga. If you win, you will enjoy the kingdom of this entire planet. So either way, there is no loss. So what Arjuna thought initially was a lose-lose situation. Krishna is presenting the same situation as a win-win situation. And then still asking him, why are you not then interested in fighting? Tasmat uttishta kaunteya shitoshna dukha. However, Krishna is not going to give Arjuna this kind of a material knowledge. Now, this is very basic knowledge. This is not a very advanced knowledge. Krishna wants to take this discussion to a higher level. He wants to go deep into the philosophical thought, and explain to Arjuna the concepts which are better and higher. So, at this verse, at this juncture, 2.39, Eshate abhita sankhye buddhi yoget vimam shruno buddhya yukta yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that Sankhya is what he explained so far. Sankhya is analysis. Sankhya means number, and Sankhya is analytical study. In general, the whole universe can be analyzed, and the whole human being can be analyzed, and then the the whole body can be analyzed into 24 elements, which are material and the soul. So this analysis help us become detached from the matter. This analysis can help us detach from the matter. For example, a pastry, a ready, fully, proper pastry looks attractive. Looks very attractive. Looks only very delicious, and just by seeing it, one may feel, one may get a desire to go and eat it. A pastry, when one looks extremely attractive, and when one sees the pastry, one may develop a desire to go and eat it. However, um, the same pastry is made up of batter, that's flour, wheat flour, ghee, some sugar, and some essence, some colors. And if you keep equivalent these ingredients at one place, those ingredients by themselves don't look attractive. The wheat flour, the ghee, the sugar, and the essence, the color, and all of that, this pastry is nothing but these components mixed in different way, different proportions, and then baked. However, the pastry looks attractive. These components by themselves, they don't look attractive. Wheat flour, nobody will look to go and eat that wheat flour. Oh, it looks so delicious. Nobody will really find that wheat flour and those individual components of that same pastry to be attractive. So, so this analysis brings detachment. By analyzing, one actually become detached. So, Lord Krishna wanted Arjuna to become detached from matter and get attached to the soul. Become detached from all that what is temporary anyway. If body you will protect, try to protect now, tomorrow it is going to fall down anyway. So in the discharge of your duties, don't let these thoughts interfere your duty. You should do your duty. So this is where Krishna is trying to explain. So this is a Sankhya, and that Sankhya was explained by Krishna from in the first second chapter, from the verse 2.12 till 2.13, 30. But now Krishna is going to change. Buddhi yoge tvima shrunu. Now Krishna is going to talk about Buddhi Yoga, and he wants Arjuna to listen to that carefully. And buddhya yukta yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Now this buddhi, if you act with the knowledge, then using this buddhi you can free yourself from karma bandha. Using this knowledge you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Now this is a beautiful verse, and let's understand. We've discussed this verse earlier, but let's look at the concept of karma bandha. Really, what really it means? What is this word karma bandha, and how does it act? How does it act? So let's look at that aspect. We get a desire. Everything begins by a desire. Biblic story says that when everybody was in the spiritual world, uh, one develops a desire to eat a forbidden apple. The moment you get that desire, you are sent to the material world. So continuing with the same thought, when we get a desire, we were all in the spiritual world. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata. Now, Ichha is the beginning of all our downfall. This Ichha leads to our downfall. This Ichha, if it is not correct Ichha, proper Ichha, it can create a disaster in our life. So, this Ichha is a desire. The desire leads to thoughts. Thought leads to action. Every action is considered like a seed that we saw in the land. A farmer saw a seed in the land. Similarly, because why? Because that action will lead to a fruit. Every action that we perform, good, bad, ugly, we don't get any fruits for thoughts. Fortunately, in the Kali Yuga, there are no fruits that accrues for thinking wrongly about anybody or having bad thoughts. But if we act on our bad thoughts, it's like a sowing the seed, which will eventually in due course of time come up with a fruit, the phala or the fruit, karma phala this is called, the fruit of your action. And this karma phala we must accept, we are forced to accept. For every action that we perform, there will be a karma phala that is going to accrue. The timing may vary. Timing may be sometime where it could be immediate, sometime it could be delayed reaction, but a reaction, a fruit has to come, must come, it will come. And in order to either accept that fruit and either enjoy or suffer for that fruit, we must accept body, because the fruit cannot be delivered to us in the spiritual world. If we go to spiritual world, we cannot be delivered. This fruit are material fruits, and they can only be delivered in the material world. This is which is this 14 planetary system, right from Brahma Loka to Patal Loka. It can be delivered in any of these lokas, but it has to be delivered within the material world, within the realm of this material world. And in order to receive this fruit for enjoyment or suffering, as the case might be, we must possess a body. We must get a body. And this is called karma bandha. Karma bandha, or it is called bondage, that every action that we perform potentially keep us bound in the material world, bound in the cycle of repeated birth and death. This, and how many actions we perform every now and then, we are performing actions. So every action, if that is going to come up with a fruit, and practically we've been performing actions every minute, every second actually, how many such fruits that we are accruing for ourselves, and what is the hope that we will be able to completely enjoy or suffer the full quota of unaccrued fruits, and then we become ready to go back to Krishna. Because unless and until these fruits are destroyed, there is no hope for us to go back to Krishna. So one must exhaust this quota of unaccrued fruits. So what is the process for that? That we'll see in the 2.50th verse. But the performance of devotional service will help us, can help us destroy our past fruits, as well as it will ensure that we don't accrue, the new fruits are not accrued for our current action, present actions. Because that is why the bhakti yoga is repeatedly recommended in Bhagavad Gita. It's not just suggested, it has been recommended again and again, again and again, because that's the beauty of this bhakti yoga. And that's the highest, the highest benediction that it is offering. Then why not? Krishna has our own best interests in his mind. So he is Surudha Sarva Bhutanam. He is a well-wishing friend of all the living entities. And this is one wish Krishna want for everyone, that every soul should come back to him. And in order to facilitate that, he wants to ensure that all your karmic reactions are destroyed, and your present actions also does not give you any fresh reactions. And this is the way we get bound, and this is the way we should get free. By performance of devotional service we can become free. We should, and therefore we should try to become free. Beautiful verse we'll study today is 2.49, which says durene yah varam avaram karma, दूरेण यह अवरम कर्म बुद्धि योगात धनंजय बुद्ध्यौ बुद्धौ शरणम अन्विच्छ कृपणः फलहेतव. um, O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. Uh, the first part is we've broken it into the four parts. As you see, the first part is where Krishna is telling Arjuna what not to do. Durena ya avaram karma. Vara means benediction. जब हम तपस्या करते हैं, हिरण्यकशिपु ने जब तपस्या की थी तो ब्रह्मा जी प्रसन्न हुए थे और उनको बोला था, बोलो वत्स क्या वर चाहिए. वर इज लाइक बेनेडिक्शन, इज लाइक व्हाट यू डिजायर, व्हाट यू वांट. So this here avara is, so vara is something that is desirable, that is auspicious. Avara is something not desirable. The moment you add a behind the vara, it becomes avara. Avara is something not desirable, which is abominable. Prabhupada translated this is abominable. All abominable activities far distant. So doing bad actions is we should be avoided, and that's what here Lord is saying. So how can you avoid doing bad? Um, Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya, by devotional service, by acting intelligently, By using your intelligence while acting, you keep all abominable activities far distant. Buddhau Sharanam Anvicha. Taking shelter of this buddhi, taking shelter of, so buddhi appears twice in this verse. So buddhi, taking conscious shelter of your buddhi, you surrender unto the Lord. Use your buddhi to surrender to Lord, who is the source of that buddhi, who has given you that intelligence. So kripanaha falahetavaha. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their actions are misers. So you do not do so. Very important instructions. Somebody has been muting. Just everyone. Yeah. Uh, Very important instructions Krishna has given. He's telling Arjuna to do certain things and not do certain things. दूरेण यह अवरम कर्म, अवरम कर्म नहीं करना है. Abominable activities, please don't perform. And kripana he phala hetava. And whatever you are doing, don't do it with an intention to enjoy the fruits of your work. That मैं ये करूंगा तो ये मिलेगा, फिर मैं ऐसे एंजॉय करूंगा, वैसे एंजॉय करूंगा. And Krishna is saying, this is, if you have that mentality, then you're a kripana. Kripana is the one who is miser. We'll see what that miser means. But clearly, the first part and the fourth part, Krishna is clearly telling Arjuna, don't do it. What should be then? Then Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya. Apply your intelligence. Work with Buddhi. Buddhi se kaam lo. And Buddham Sharanam Anvicha. Buddhi, use your intelligence to surrender to one who is the source of that intelligence. That is Krishna himself, but he's not in this particular verse. He's not bringing that out later in the Bhagavad Gita. He will bring it out that he's the buddhi of the buddhiman people comes from him. So buddhau sharanam anvicha, that sharanagati leke buddhi ke, you surrender unto the Lord, and don't develop a desire to enjoy the fruits of your actions. Such people are useless, miserly people. What do you really mean by miserly? Karpanya dosho pahatasva bhavaha. In earlier Bhagavad Gita 7th verse to second chapter 7th verse also, Arjuna has used this word that due to the miserly weakness of my mind, Arjuna is referring to himself to be a miser. And he's saying, I'm not able to understand what is right for me. Pruchhami tvam dharma samudacheta. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha. Pruchhami tvam dharma samudacheta. I'm asking you because I'm unable to decide on what is right. So you tell me, san nishchatam bruhitan me. You tell me what is nishchit, what is best for me, what is the shreya for me, and for that I surrender unto you. But this miserly word came in the seventh verse. This verse, this word comes once again in the current verse. So, so let's understand what really it means. Yeah. Okay. Miser means, in general, understanding of the word miser here, you see a man with a lot of money, and he's protecting his money, and so he has something. A general miser means one who possesses assets, but not able to make use of those assets due to excessive attachments. So one who possesses something, something of value, something of importance, but one who is not, but one who, one who is not able to make use of that possession. Why? Because he's excessively attached to it. It's a mentality where you are very rich, but you don't want to spend, so you go hungry. You remain hungry. You want to, because eating means spending money, and you are too attached to your wealth, you don't even want to eat. Example can be that of a man who possesses a lot of wealth, but due to attachments, he neither spend it nor properly invest it so that it can grow. Such a foolish person, despite of having wealth, live life like a poor and thereby waste everything. Such a foolish person, despite of having all the wealth, he lives like a poor and thereby waste everything. So this is where this is the example Krishna is using Arjuna. Now, what is in the context of Bhagavad Gita? How can we import this knowledge? Let's take a let's take a look at that later. Let's go to the purport that Srila Prabhupada gives, in which he has actually brought out the same point. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as an eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagement and save working in Krishna consciousness. Means the buddhi, the reference to the buddhi in the what is the asset? This man has an asset of money. But in general, all human beings are blessed with the asset of advanced intelligence. Using that intelligence, one can understand Bhagavad Gita. One can read Shastra. One can differentiate between right and wrong, uh, proper, improper, moral, immoral, ethical, unethical. One can have that differentiation using that advanced intelligence. But if one refuses to use that intelligence, then such person will be known as a miserly person. And Krishna saying, don't become one. And Prabhupada explains that same point, that if you understand your constitutional position as eternal servitor of the Lord, then you will immediately give up all engagement and only work for in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is not saying only work for Krishna, but you will work in Krishna consciousness, which means that even if you are not directly engaged in serving Krishna, you can still convert your family life into Krishna consciousness by dedicating the fruits of all your activities to Krishna. So, as Prabhupada writes further, that I've already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruits of their work just to be further entangled in the material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. We saw in the diagram that all our work, be even if it is performed in Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, as long as they are under one of these gunas or a combination of these gunas, they will continue to give us a fruit. And to enjoy and suffer for that fruit, we have to accept another body. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Now, again, this is a desire. One should not do the work. Prabhupada is not writing one should not do the work. Prabhupada is writing that one should never desire to be the cause of work. So it's a change in mentality. It's not change of work as much. You still, if you're a family holder, you're supposed to still take care of your family. But you don't have to think that you are the reason why your family is maintained. You are the reason why you are able to earn the salary. Everything, if you see as a mercy from Krishna, you will be able to carry out the same family responsibilities without getting bound. This is karma kaushalyam. Prabhupada writes, the Lord actually speaks this in subsequent verse, that karma kaushalya, this is the art of work. One may be apparently seemingly doing the same activities as done by non-devotee, but because of the different consciousness that one possess, the other person is given the fruit for his action, but the devotees don't get fruit for their action, even if they apparently perform the similar actions. Like simple action can be doing a job and maintaining one's family. When devotee do it as a service to Krishna, as a service to his souls who are in his possession, and offer all the results of his activities to Krishna, give charity, maintain his family, engage his family in devotional service, uh, then his work, even though apparently prima facie it appears to be like a material world, but material work, material activity becomes transcendental activity, becomes divya activity, becomes devotional service, though not direct but indirect. It still remains to be devotional service, and this activity does not give him karma phala. So this is breakthrough. This is a eureka moment. Otherwise, if you see the karma bandha cycle, there is practically no hope, because we are, even if we act in sattva guna, we are still going to get a fruit of our action, and we will continue to remain perpetually bound in the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. But here is our hope. Here is our hope. If we perform activities in Krishna consciousness as a service to Krishna, then everything can be fixed. Let's see further what Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada writes, everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard work. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like misers, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. So let's take a look at this in a chart form. Let's start from the bottom. The activities are can be bad for the miserly people. The activities can be bad. uh, uh, the activities can be bad, good, and can be best. Okay. um, let's look at when our activities are bad, what happens, what activities we perform. We can perform is stealing, robbing, murdering. So these activities at a material level, uh, such activities really does not bring any happiness. In fact, we will get eventually caught by the police, by the regulators, by the king. We will get punished, and a very horrible outcome in general. Very horrible karma will come to us as a result of these activities. Not very great auspicious activities. At a spiritual level, what will be the effect? The spiritual effect is, any person who is engaged in performing these activities will have very, very weak consciousness, spiritual consciousness. And um, and such person will not have any inclination or desire and intelligence for understanding spiritual topics like Bhagavad Gita. Life is almost like animal, fully focused on eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Nothing great, nothing beyond that. And that's a miserable life that is of an animal. Even if you have a human body, you're living like a dog and hog and a cat. So such a misuse, such a gross misuse of human life. Durlabha manasya janama satsange tarah e bhava sindhure. We hear this repeatedly, that human form of life is so precious, and this is the worst use of human form of life. Better than this is the are those people who do good work. Good work is those who are engaged in karma kanda. Karma kand, or acting according to dharma with focus on sense enjoyment. Now they understand that their god exists, the rules and regulations exist, and there are some sacrifices which exist. And if I perform those sacrifices staying within the boundaries of dharma, I can have access to the superior quality and quantity of sense enjoyment, sense gratification. And that is with the focus on sense enjoyment or sense gratifications, getting better and good, higher quality and quantity of sense objects. One may actually perform some dharmic activity. One may fast, one may go to temple, one may give some charity, one may perform some austerities. So, but the focus is not neither purification nor love. The focus is simply on getting better quality and quantity of sense enjoyment. So what material effect this can have on the person? Material sense enjoyment available as long as karma currency balance exists. This is important to understand. You can as long as there is a karmic currency balance in your account, you can actually get some sense enjoyment. But again, those sense enjoyment are, even if you get, they may not be of the same taste, same, they may not meet your expectation. You may have fantasized something. We see movies, we see models, we see, um, everywhere we see the female bodies getting displayed, and so we would have some, we might have some fantasies, some fantasy ideas about how romance can be, how romance should be. And when we get into that, it can become anticlimax, it can become disaster. And then so we may aspire something, we may have thought of something, we may have imagined something as the best sense gratification, sense enjoyment. But when it comes to actually indulging in those activities, it may not give us the same, it may not be able to meet the same expectations. That can be very anticlimax, it can become a disastrous. So one may not get, even if you get, it may not meet the expectation, may not be of the same quality and quantity that we imagined, we thought, or we fantasize about. Even if you get, even if it meets your expectation, it may not last forever, it will not last forever. So the timing is not in our control. And our capacity to enjoy also is not going to last forever. Eventually we will not last forever. So so this whole program of directing our energies towards getting temporary enjoyment is a plop show, is a waste of time, money, energy, and our spiritual buddhi especially. Because we'll apply a lot of our buddhi in getting these enjoyments. So at a material level, it's a lose lose proposition. At a spiritual level, can have these people who are in this stage can have desire or inclination to learn Bhagavad Gita. If such people gets devotee or Lord's association, Lord's association can come through simply by taking prasad. It's not necessary that Lord personally can appear and give association. He can do that, but a simple form of Lord's association can be through Lord's prasad. When we feed, when we perform annadan, uh, we widely distribute food which is offered to Krishna as prasad. The food which is tasted by Krishna, the saliva of Krishna's mouth is still there in that food, and such food get distributed as prasad. One gets connected with Krishna through such consumption of such prasad, and that is like taking association from Krishna. Uh, Devotee association, when people meet devotees while maybe they are doing sankirtan in the streets, they are doing book distribution on the streets, or in general people may visit temples and then may inquire from the devotees, and that way, if they get devotee mercy, these people can rise from the good level to the best level. The best level, however, is acting for serving Krishna for his pleasure. So this is best. Materially, you'll always be happy. And spiritually, your actions don't produce any good or bad fruit, whatever, even if it means killing, you are free from reaction. Why? Because you're doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. You're doing it as a service to Krishna. So Krishna has capacity to free you up from all sinful reactions, even if they were to come. So so this is a win-win situation. This is a win-win situation. So materially you are happy while you live in this world, you are happy, and spiritually it's you are able to develop. There is no The actions don't produce new fruit. Plus, if you perform sadhana bhakti, all your previous accumulated fruits can get destroyed. On top of that, you will develop love for Krishna because you're always acting for the pleasure of Krishna. And if you develop love for Krishna, Krishna will take you back home, back to Godhead. Going back to Godhead becomes just a formality. So it's a win-win situation. Bad, if good is good is better than bad. Good is better than bad. If somebody is engaged in doing bad activities, one should encourage them to come to the platform of good. But when a best is available, one should not get caught up in good. Arjuna's refusing to fight a war was like being attached to the good activities, but he's refusing to do the best activity. Best activity was serving, doing anything for the pleasure of Krishna can be or will be the best ever activity that you will ever do in the world. And because that was available, that was offered to Arjuna, and Arjuna was refusing best because he was attached to good. This is why Krishna is calling him miser. When you have best available, you shouldn't remain attached to good. It's like a father having two sons. One is one, and both got 60 marks after the exam, and father was seen as patting and appreciating one son for getting 60 marks while he is scolding other son for getting 60 marks. Father has two sons, both got 60 marks in their exams. Now both happens to be in the same standard also, not that one was and but the father was seen as appreciating, uh, praising one son while he was criticizing and scolding the other son, and both got 60 marks. Can somebody explain, with this good, bad, best concept, using this concept, what could be the reason, or what is the reason behind father's action? महेश्वर त्रिपाठी जी, आप बोल सकते हैं.
Uh, Hare Krishna
हरे
Prabhuji.
कृष्णा.
The thing is, the son who has got 60 mark in a correct way with hard work is appreciated. But the son who has got 60 mark with unfair means is scolded. That's what I feel.
ओके.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा, बहुत अच्छे से आपने बताया ब्रो जी. एनीबडी एल्स वांट टू गिव सम अदर पर्सपेक्टिव? महेश्वर ब्रो जी, आप म्यूट कर सकते हैं. सो अब बाद में, बिकॉज क्या होता है, पीछे अगर बैकग्राउंड नॉइज हुआ ना तो डिस्टरबेंस हो जाता है सबको. आई विल म्यूट यू, नो वरीज ब्रो जी.
Okay, thank you.
हरे कृष्णा. सो एनीबडी एल्स वांट टू से समथिंग?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
यस माता जी.
Maybe before that, one person was getting previously good marks. Looking at the second one, he was getting started to study less and getting like other one.
Yeah, that's also another very, very nice perspective. Sanjeev bro ji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One perspective could be that, you know, one son is perhaps not as intelligent, worked hard and got 60 marks. The other brother had superior intelligence but didn't work hard enough and therefore couldn't, he was capable of doing much better but couldn't. And that's why he got scolded.
Yeah, very nice. Apurva, last comment, and then we'll go. Very nice
Hare
perspective from
Krishna,
that.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one perspective is also that if he is playing cricket or doing another activity or personal development, so he got the 60 marks, so he is appreciated. And other one is not doing study, he is doing another things. So this is also one perspective.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, very nice. So basically, yes, in the common theme is, if you are doing, if you're doing bad, rather than better than doing bad is good. But when you're capable of best, don't get stuck with good. Then you should aspire and actually achieve the best. So sometimes a good can protect you from doing bad, but the same good can prevent you from achieving your own best. So good is the biggest enemy of best. Also, this can be understood that way. Let's see this with an example. A poor son and a rich dad. It's not a story, but a son who does not know that his dad is a billionaire, is a son of a billionaire, is working very hard. Uh, may work very hard in the in the, is actually living a very poor life. Initially, he begged, borrow, steal to feed himself. Later, he start working hard. He start working hard, get but very poor quality. He's living in an extremely poor condition. Even if we work hard, get very little. So he's barely able to sustain himself. Eventually, using his intelligence, he worked hard, he worked smart, and get started getting good quality of food, home, clothes, and other luxuries. Now he has better car. Now he has his he has better facilities, not only just to maintain himself, but to enjoy himself also. So now the same intelligence he use further, and he starts saving some money also for the future, so that when he will stop working, he should be able to maintain himself with the similar current standards of living. So, uh, so all of us actually will probably be in one of these bullets. Probably in the last bullet, or maybe the one before. Hopefully not in this bullet, but and definitely not hopefully in this bullet, but probably this last three bullets will probably capture all of us. Will probably fit in one of these things. And Krishna really does not appreciate it completely. Krishna says all this is wrong use of one's intelligence. All of this requires intelligence. The common theme here is using his intelligence. Using intelligence, it's not easy, right? It's not easy to live a luxurious life. One has to work hard, one has to work smart, one has to really come up with brilliant ideas, and one has to work extremely hard in order to convert those ideas into monetary concepts. One has to sell, one has to recover money, one has to earn interest, one has to invest smartly, wisely, quickly. One has to do a lot of compromises, a lot of sacrifices in order to be able to get a luxurious lifestyle. Luxurious, even less than luxurious, even a comfortable lifestyle, even higher middle class lifestyle, even middle class lifestyle, it all comes at a cost. And all of that requires a lot of brainstorming, a lot of use of intelligence is involved. It's just not hard work. uh, had it been just by working hard, one can earn millions and billions. Then this person probably would have been the billionaire, because he must be working harder than all of us. So in terms of just physical labor, so it's not physical labor, but the use of intelligence um, will enable us to do all of these things. And Krishna is really not appreciative of us. What is he saying really? Krishna is saying this is all wrong use of one's intelligence. Now, all these achievements, whatever we are calling them as achievements because of our intelligence, are temporary in nature. When something eternal is available, if we if we have capacity, if we have if our intelligence has capacity, we have intelligence and we have capacity to get something eternal. Why are we wasting our time, energy, effort in attaining something which is temporary anyway? When we have capacity to get eternal, why are we stuck only in attaining temporary objects? This is where this is where we have to look within, not look around, but look within, because we might find ourselves practically doing the same thing. We are busy in things which are anyway temporary, and those will, as Prahlad Maharaj says, those are available to us by the by our karma anyway. So why are we so much focus on those things? Why are we not shifting our focus on that which is going to give us a eternal results? नेह भिक्र नाशोस्ती, नाश न होता है, जिसका नाश नहीं होता है, ऐसी चीजों के बारे में why are we why is not our attention to those things, but we are so much attentive to those things which are anyway temporary. So Krishna is calling such people misers. So we all unfortunately fall in that bracket, because we'll be in one of those three bullets. So these people, or all of us, don't even fully satisfy ourselves in this life. What to speak of my next life? Because this um, temporary achievements, temporarily whatever we aspire, work hard and get, all of those fail to satisfy us fully in this life itself. No matter how no matter how costly our car is, no matter how big our home is, no matter how many restaurants we go and eat in, no matter how many countries we go and see, how many cultures we go and witness, how many books we read, how many businesses we set up, how many mergers acquisitions we perform, how many millions of dollars I earn for my company, how many whatever we may achieve, whatever our so-called achievements in the material world, they don't satisfy us fully in this life. What to speak of next? None of those will be uh, carried forward to the next life. So it's all waste, and that's where Krishna wants us to shift our attention, our focus to doing those things which are eternal, which will give us eternal benefit. So Krishna is calling this miserly use or misuse of our best asset that we possess, which is intelligence, buddhi. I'll take a couple of examples before we conclude today's session. Hiranyakashipu, avara, the thing is, here avara karma. Avara, we said this is vara means benediction, and avara means negative benediction, or inauspicious benediction. So we see on the first picture Hiranyakashipu in front of Brahmaji, ready to ask for vara. Brahmaji is प्रसन्न हुए, उनके सामने आ गए, and then he's asking, oh son, tell me what you want. I'm pleased with your austerities. Now Hiranyakashipu is prepared with his list. What is his focus? His focus is his attachment was with sense enjoyment, wealth, woman, power, etc. That is what constitutes Hiranyakashipu. He was a ruler of the whole planetary system, the whole creation, practically all the, except for Brahmaji's planet, all the 13 planetary systems were under his control, and he wanted himself to be declared as God. So he was crazy about power, he was crazy about women, and he was crazy about wealth, opulence. And therefore he said he's the role model of Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam. Those, if you happen to be one of those, you should consider Hiranyakashipu as your role model. So he was overly attached with all of these things, and what stops us, where we get a full stop, what prevent us from perpetual enjoyment of all these things is death. So hence he considered death to be the showstopper in his plan for eternal sense enjoyment. That's true. We can relate. You can have You can have all the wealth in the world, but if you die, you don't know where your next body will be, where in which next body you will born with. You may be born in a middle class family where you will have to start all over again. So there's no guarantee that you will you will continue to get the same wealth that you accumulated in your previous life. And the same goes for other sensual things. The house, the woman, the wife, the children, the family, the power, the whatever we may have collected in one life, it becomes zero. It's not brought forward to the next life wherever we might go. So death is that showstopper which prevent us from perpetual sense enjoyment. Had death not been there, I could have continued enjoying forever. I could have continued with my enjoyment forever. So Hiranyakashipu is thinking like this, that if I have to enjoy perpetually, I have to somehow overcome this death. So his vara is asking a vara or a benediction that can save him from death. And then therefore he asked Brahmaji that I should not be killed by anyone who is been created by you. And then goes on with the list of other subclauses or terms and conditions ki neither in morning nor in night, and मॉर्निंग आफ्टरनून नाइट तीनों में नहीं मरना चाहिए आदमी. देन ऑल शस्त्र से नहीं, अस्त्र से नहीं, ऐसे नहीं, वैसे नहीं. एंड इन प्रेजेंट ब्रह्मा जी विद अ फुल लिस्ट ऑफ डिस्क्लोजर्स and clauses and subclauses and sections, subsections, so that make a foolproof plan not to die. He forgot that all sense objects and enjoyments one may derive out of them are temporary anyway. And once he receives them, one receives these enjoyments as per one's karma, without even trying hard. Without even trying hard, Prahlad Maharaj says that you will get it. Even if you don't endeavor for it, you will still get it. Hence, one should not overly endeavor or overly invest one's time, energy, intelligence in trying to achieve this. In contrast with this benediction is the benediction by Prahlad Maharaj. We'll do a lot of reading. There are beautiful verses. This comes in the 7th canto, 10th chapter, verse 2nd onwards. I'm going to read. Text 2. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Lord, now this is the situation where Hiranyakashipu was killed, and Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers to Narasimha Dev, and he becomes pacified. And then he asked Prahlad Maharaj to ask for some vara, some benediction. And now Prahlad Maharaj is responding, and see how he responds, what he speaks. Every sentence, every text is a teaching for all of us. And such an exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj was, that whatever he has spoken, every sentence of his is nothing but a lesson for all of us. So pay attention and read along with me, as we go ahead. Text 2. Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your feet. Text 3. O my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart. You have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of pure devotee. So we saw that the whole journey starts with a desire, the lusty desire, the seed. The seed exists in heart of everyone, and that is what caused the bondage in the material world. Text 4. Otherwise, O my Lord, O supreme instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service. He says, I'm not a merchant, I'm not like them. I want to love you, I want to serve you, therefore I'm attached to you. I'm not attached to you because I want something in return. Vertex 5, a servant. Now he clarifies the relationship that they had. He is saying, I am your eternal servant and you are my eternal master. And Prahlad Maharaj is actually instructing Narsimhadev how this relationship is. Very beautiful text. Text 5. A servant who desires material profits from his master is certainly not a qualified servant or a pure devotee. Similarly, a master who bestows benedictions upon his servant because of a desire to maintain a prestigious position as master is also not a pure master. So, servant should also not serve with a desire to get something in return, and master to show that he is master, he is superior, he is prestigious. Should not, with that desire, he should not be wanting to give something. Both are at fault. So, text 6, he says, O my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant and you are my eternal master. There is no need of you, of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship. Text 7. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all wants to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. 8. He says, what is the effect of having such desires that he speaks about in the 8th verse? O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, and intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. So if you're born with those, if you have those, if you develop those lusted desires, you suffer a big loss because all of these things will get lost. Your spirituality can get lost, your Krishna consciousness can get lost, and your desire to love and serve Lord can get lost. So text 9, therefore, uh, O my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all the material desires in his mind, he become eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours. What a beautiful statement. I will read again. Oh my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all the material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours. So one who possesses God, possesses Krishna in their heart, who are holding on to Krishna, who are committed to Krishna, who are dedicated to Krishna, who are attached to Krishna, who are in love with Krishna, they have no material desire left in their mind. From the core of my mind, it's not apparently in the mind, but from the core of my mind means from the deepest part in my mind also such desire should not exist. And that's such a, so this is the vara, this is the benediction that Prahlad Maharaj was asking, and in contrast to what Hiran his father was asking, the same pastime, but two contradictory, two contrast, we see that the two people asking asking benedictions in a very contradictory way. And we see what happened. What happened despite of getting such a benediction, such a powerful benediction. Hiranyakashipu was killed. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tranu Bhringa. Tranu is like a blade of grass. जैसे blade of grass को कोई उठा के तोड़ देता है, you can just break it into two parts. Similarly, my father was killed. Now, no matter how much smart we may become, no matter how much expert we may become, no matter how much intelligent we might be, no matter how much powerful we might be, none of us can match what Hiranyakashipu was. None of us can match what Hiranyakashipu has achieved. And we cannot get what Hiranyakashipu has got. No matter how much hard we may try, all the motivational speakers together also cannot create one Hiranyakashipu. He was so special. He practically became god of this whole material world. Everyone was under his adhipatya or his control. He was controlling devatas. He was controlling the whole affairs of this material world. He was conducting on his own. So he practically tried becoming god in a little way of this material world. But the same Hiranyakashipu was killed by by Narasimha Dev, just like Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tranabringa. We sing in Narasimha prayer that you kill Hiranyakashipu just like a child play, as if it was a child play. And so what to speak of our condition? If Hiranyakashipu, after achieving so much, also you know, couldn't couldn't last, couldn't last in front of Lord's presence. What to speak of our, no matter how big we may become as a Hiranyakashipu, we will still be very, very small in front of Hiranyakashipu. How, so what is going to be our hope that we can do better than Hiranyakashipu did? What Hiranyakashipu did, there's no hope. So it's a waste of time. Look at Hiranyakashipu's example and withdraw your consciousness from engaging only in the material activities. He got the highest material benedictions and he was killed as if just like a child play. So what to speak of our hope? What is our hope? We have no hope. So let's not invest ourselves too much into the collecting material opulences. To summarize, advanced intelligence or buddhi is our best asset that we possess, and it should not be misused or wasted in trying to get things which are temporary. We shouldn't invest too much in getting temporary things, and we should not really be. So we should first understand what is temporary, what is material, what is temporary, what is eternal. We should understand what is material, what is spiritual. So whatever is spiritual is eternal. Whatever is material is temporary. No matter how much, how great quality it might be of, it's still temporary. And spiritual, no matter how much smaller quantity it might be of, it is eternal. So the bhakti you're performing is eternal. Bhagavad Gita classes you're attending, we will give you eternal benefit. Hare Krishna Mahamantra Nama Japa that you are performing will give you eternal benefits. Every day you offer food to Krishna and eat it as prasad will give you eternal benefits. The taste you can develop by studying scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, that taste will go with you to the next life and will give you eternal benefit. Everything else, the service that you will render for Krishna will give you eternal benefits. The austerities that you will perform for Krishna and helping devotees will give you eternal benefits. If you happen to, there was one devotee in Delhi, east of Kailash. He took a loan for building temple for Krishna. such such a bold activity will give him eternal benefits. So there are spiritual activities which will give you eternal benefits. Apart from that, all other activities will give us temporary benefit, and some of those will be unavoidable for us to do. But our focus should be on the left hand side. Focus should be on performing spiritual activities, and eliminating or reducing our material activities only to the extent of absolute necessity. And there also we can try and spiritualize everything by connecting everything with Krishna. Convert your vacations with Krishna by going to Dham. Convert your food by eating prasad. By convert your spiritualize your food by offering it to Krishna, making it prasad. So like that, expertly, one by one, you can convert all your activities as spiritual activities, and that's how you can function in the material world but don't get affected by the material world. You can perform all the activities without any of your activities producing any results, karma phala, for which you will be forced to take another body. And by performing nice sadhana, you can destroy all your previous accumulated activity, fruits of your activities, thereby become eligible to go back to Krishna. So, just to summarize, finally, that advanced intelligence should not be misused. We achieve whatever we want to. All the temporary results come to us by way of our karmic currency balance. Anyway, they will be just like misery comes searching, our happiness will also come searching us. So it becomes because of our past lives karma, karmic currency balances. Instead, if ये नहीं करना है तो क्या करना है? We should use our Krishna given buddhi or intelligence, time, energy, and so all of these actually comes from Krishna. Krishna says, I am the intelligent of the intelligent people. I am the intelligence of the intelligent people. I am time, kalos me. Krishna says, the ability in men comes from Krishna. All the resources we possess actually comes from Krishna. So everything actually comes from Krishna. And so whatever could be in our possession, all these resources, we should use this for following the process as prescribed by Bhagavad Gita by performing devotional service under guidance of devotee. So look up for a devotee guidance. Look up for a devotee who is guiding you on a daily basis. People will call you and then start guiding you, and accept their guidance, accept their authority, and perform your devotional service under their instructions. And when you do that, they can help us achieve the highest fruit of attaining Krishna at the end of our life. So it will help us attain Krishna in one lifetime. Otherwise, as you see in that particular graph chart, we can perpetually remain bound in the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. So then otherwise there is no hope for us. So we should use our buddhi, our intelligence, to go to the source of that intelligence. We can use our intelligence to go to the source of that intelligence, and that source of intelligence is Krishna. So let's attain Krishna using our buddhi or our intelligence. So 2 sessions. I was there in the japa session in the morning, and nobody was willing to chant. I felt very bad. So everyone should be eager to chant, and wherever we get opportunity, the otherwise the lead chanter will keep chanting for whole 2 hours, and he will benefit, and by not chanting we will not benefit. So all of you should be eager to join japa session and chant along with the devotees. And in the evening we have reading of Srimad Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita sessions every evening, start from 8:30 to 9:15. We'll break for some questions and answers, if any. Otherwise, we can close today's session. Ashwin Prabhuji, sorry. Yeah, please go ahead. You can ask a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful sessions. Prabhuji, how to develop unflinching faith like Prahlad Maharaj in Bhakti. Can we discuss, elaborate on that?
Unflinching faith, Prabhuji, we all have some faith right now. And that unflinching faith is known as conviction, nishtha. And that comes, so with basic faith, we have come to the process of Krishna consciousness. We are accepted process of Krishna consciousness. And so the other Shraddha, and then comes the Sadhu Sangha. Currently, we should aspire, desire to take as much sadhu sangha as possible, be with devotees, try to spend as much time with devotees. And yesterday I asked this question, that how should you, how should you interact with the devotees, senior devotees, especially our mentors. Prabhuji said, Nitai Madhav Prabhuji said that you should ask them, how can I serve? The best way to interact with our senior devotees is by asking how I can serve. And it's such a profound statement. He said, don't ask them which soap and shampoo I should use. Ask them, how can I serve? And that's a profound statement coming from a profound leader. So as when we associate with sadhu sangha, with devotees, we should ask them how I can serve them, and they will engage us in in bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya is a, is a is a activity of performing sadhana bhakti, and that bhajana kriya will lead us to anartha nivrutti. Our our lower inclinations will go down, and we should be able to easily deal with our lower temptations, and we can become more and more fixed in our sadhana. We become regular in our sadhana, we become committed in our sadhana. uh, if we, whatever earlier we were doing, we start doing otherwise, and we become wise. And that's anartha nivrutti help us. Seeing is like a, just like a deceased person, see his faith in the, he comes to a doctor with some basic faith, but when he starts the symptom of his disease disappearing, his faith increases and eventually becomes nishtha, conviction, that he get convinced that he has come to the right doctor, and doctor knows how to treat him, and it has worked so far, and it will work in future also. So now he commits himself to the process of this treatment fully, without any doubt. And so that this is where his initial faith has now got converted into conviction. Similarly, in our case, we see things happening in our life. Our faith should become conviction. The initial faith can be flickering, can be small in quantity. Conviction is like large in quantity. And and conviction will ensure that even if things don't happen according to our plan in future, our faith is not shaken. At a faith level, we may become shaky, but at the conviction level, we understand what's happening, why it's happening, and therefore, no matter what happens in our life, we continue to perform devotional service. We don't give up. So that time, our devotional service actually can become ahetuki and apratihata, without any motive, exterior motive, and apratihata, uninterrupted, as Bhagavatam says. So it's a process. It's not overnight journey, but it's possible journey. And all of you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra for so many years, is a testimony to to the fact that the process is potent and process is working. Process has worked on so many people. Process is working on you also. So this is a way forward for all of us to the to move from faith, initial small faith, to conviction, and with conviction, follow the process wholeheartedly.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, brother.
Prabhuji, I have one problem. I'm not able to chant loudly because my mouth dries. I'm nearly 70 years old. So I'm not able to chant properly, but I read and I hear a lot.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Thank you so much, Mataji. So, as we always tell everyone that chanting should be loud, chanting should be we should hear that as we chant, and chanting pronunciation should be nice and very clear, etc. Um, it's true, and it's completely not completely true also. Many people are not able to pronounce the word R. Many people all around the people, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is chanted all over the world. And there are many languages where R letter doesn't exist. But, and those devotees, when they chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they are not able to pronounce very clearly. But despite of not pronouncing Maha Mantra correctly, it may all sound incorrect pronunciation, they get the same benefit. Do you see their love and attachment for Krishna increasing day by day? So it's not so much depend upon the pronunciation alone, and that we are able to get the benefit of mantra. End of the day, also a consciousness. It's also consciousness that we are trying to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra to develop our service attitude for Krishna. That I want to do something for you, Krishna, and give me opportunity to do that. So that service attitude one can develop despite of not checking all the boxes of good Mahamantra chanting. So the good pronunciation, chant loudly, hear properly, sit in one posture, do all japa rounds in one go. All those there could be various boxes to check, to be checked. If you want to consider yourself as a good chanter, we may have certain basic parameters, and those are good. It's good to have some basic standards, but it's not necessary. At times you may meet all the criterias, follow all standards, but may not develop taste in Krishna because of poor because of poor mental attitude. But if you have right consciousness, you can develop, be without, by not chanting loudly, by not being able to hear, by not hearing a mantra also, you will be able to develop loving sentiments for Krishna. So my advice, my request to you is basically not focus too much on this, because with age, certain limitations will come. Eventually, it will come upon all of us. So we do what best we can in every situation. That should be our goal. So if chanting loudly is not permitted by the health and by the other reasons, so be it. I will chant softly. That's
Okay.
fine. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, Sanjeev Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for
Hare Krishna.
such a wonderful session today. Prabhuji, my question is, financial constraints can more often than not become a huge obstacle in your devotional service. So even history shows us that, for example, even in the Mahabharata, Bhishma Dev was considered one of the Mahajans, fought on the side of Duryodhan because he was financially obliged towards him. He had some financial obligations. The same was the case with Dronacharya. Now, if you bring that to the householder's level today, if he has to progress in his devotional service, he nevertheless also has to be earning enough. I mean, there is always this dilemma between how much work you should be working hard to earn and how much time you should devote towards devotional service. There's always a tussle between the two. For example, I mean, even if one has to join a yatra, that also needs a certain amount of money. Or any access, any activity or devotional service needs money. So this kind of a dilemma is there, and in the process of earning money, the danger is always there of becoming too attached to earning money. So all these kind of dilemmas one is faced with, and how does one strike a balance, and what should one do? So please guide us in that. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a very nice question. Uh, so the question is, how do we balance our material activities and with the spiritual activities? And the material activities will include activities perform for our maintenance. Now, all of those can also be spiritualized. That's the whole point eventually that Bhagavad Gita will teach us. Um, all our material activities, when it's a we have to think of this, that the activities are not changing. The consciousness is changing. By changing consciousness, the result changes. A person who is hungry wants to eat food. A devotee who also will become hungry also wants to eat food. So the prima facie activity is same. However, one is eating food directly and one is eating food after offering it to Krishna. Now, when one offers it to Krishna, even in one's own mind, one is offering to Krishna and accepting it as a prasad, the consciousness changes, the result changes, outcome changes. So these are the subtle ways in which we can modify our consciousness, and that can result into the modification of activity. Our work can also be spiritualized if we change our consciousness for our work, behind our work. If we if we are when we are working, obviously we have to work, we have to do activities what are necessary for our execution of our duties in whichever business or services where we might be. But overall, if we what is the driving factor behind you undertaking that work? If that is maintaining your own family, that is achieving my goal of financial freedom, that is achieving my goal of having 3 homes in city of Mumbai, or if for achieving that home, my goal of having a owning of home in Switzerland or New York, or going for vacations abroad every 6 months, whatever is my driving factor, or just to be on a very simple side, I am to take care of all my family members. I have to maintain my family. It's my duty as a householder to maintain my family. For that, want to send my children to best schools, want to make provision for my own lifelong my old age time, my old times, and all of that. So if these are the motivators, so this is the material motivation. This also can be spiritualized. We maintain our family members, but when we know that these family members are also part and parcel of Krishna, and they are temporarily in my possession, they are been given I am made responsible to take care of them. So I take care of them as if I am taking care of Krishna, because they are part and parcel of Krishna. So if we link all our activities to Krishna, it is possible to spiritualize our work also. So we don't have to give up the whole work. We have to change the consciousness behind performing that work. And Bhagavad Gita, as we progress further, will talk in detail about that, about how it can be done. Similarly, balancing activities is our morning time we can protect for Krishna. We can devote that to Krishna. Very rarely, most of the people will not, I mean, majority of the people will really should be able to spare over their mornings, dedicate their mornings for good reasons, and devotional service is the best activity that you can do in this time. uh, After that can come the health related activities, and after that you can begin your day. But you can definitely protect your mornings and dedicate those mornings for Krishna. So when you can do best, don't get stuck in doing good. performing yoga, going for walks, going to gym. These are good activities. But when you can do best activities, when you can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra with devotees, uh, don't compromise best for doing good things. So that way we can if we prioritize our schedule correctly, we should be able to find time for chanting 16 rounds and reading little bits of scriptures or hearing to classes, maybe during our commute, maybe while returning from office, or before our bedtime. uh, so what is required is not too much. Uh, Chanting of 16 rounds can take up to 16, can take up to 2 hours, or depending on the speed, roughly average 2 hours it can take. And reading one page of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam shouldn't take long, or listening to one Bhagavatam class or one lecture can take up to 30 to 40 minutes. So again, it's not too much. uh, and even if overall our consciousness, if there's a shift of consciousness that has to happen, and that is internal work that we need to do. And we should seek guidance again. We should speak to devotees. We should not wait for the weekends. We should speak to devotees throughout week. We have so many senior devotees in this group who will be mentoring other, guiding, sharing their experiences with others, so that others feel inspired. Others can take their help and and modify their bring little changes into their lifestyle, so that the devotional service can get into focus. While everything else continues, the devotional service get the necessary focus and attention. That way, we should be able to perform devotional service nicely, despite of taking care of our material responsibilities. How much money end of your life, how much money bank balance you will attain, is also summation of your effort plus your karmic, destiny. So if whatever you're destined to attain, earn, you probably will end up earning, and for that you need to put in necessary efforts also. But just simply by putting more effort, will you necessarily earn a lot of money which you can save for your retired life, and then hope to perform bhakti nicely in that time? May not happen. You may not really get anything more than what you are destined to get anyway. And so to that extent, we have to do our endeavors, but our focus should be on Krishna. It's a change of consciousness that we are that the Lord is suggesting, and it will come repeatedly in the subsequent portions of Bhagavad Gita as well. Okay, Bruji?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for guidance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Subhash Prabhuji, you have a question?
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandvat Pranam. I just wanted to add on the similar lines like what I do. Basically, whatever activity I am undertaking, first 2-3 minutes I am devoting to remembering the God. Like when I enter the office, I have this thing, small statue there. So I actually offer flowers, prayer, and all that. And then I write Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare for 2-3 minutes. And then I start the work. So that actually throughout the day, I am actually in between also I am doing this activity. So actually I am actually focused on that also. So intention and action both are actually devoted to the God, because the action I have to do throughout the day, but in between actually whenever Sandhi happens, like around 12 o'clock, then during the sunset when I am in the office at that time. So I that particular 5 minutes or 10 minutes I devote to this, and the staff everybody knows this, so there is no interference also. And for food also, I offer to the God first, and to the children also. We have given this kind of values so that they are eating the same food. We are all sattvic only. But when we devote to the God, when we offer to the God, I think then we get better satisfaction. At the same time, it becomes a prasadam. So that's how I am doing it. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Guruji.
you for sharing. Very, very nice. And a lot of people do that, where we have pictures of Lord on our desks. So we remember that there are like Mayapur deities, lot of Radha Madhav, Bhiwandi deities, Radha Rasbiari ji from Juhu. Small deities, small pictures will take your consciousness back to those temples and those deities. So it's always it's a good break. People go out for breaks often in offices or in workplaces, but this is a good break to have. And as Subhash Roji is saying, you can chant for a while, take deep breath, close your eyes, chant a little while, chant for a while, and then resume your duties. That's also a nice way of shuffling. Thank you so much, Proji, for sharing. Okay, so there are no other questions. We can close today's session. Thank you everyone for joining.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
Proji.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, there is a couple of questions in this chat box, Prabhuji.
Okay.
One is
Atishi
Prakash
has,
Sharma, Prabhuji.
yeah, Atishi has raised hand. We can take her question,
Okay,
and then
Prabhuji.
we can go to the chat questions.
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Achi, yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Actually, Prabhuji, I wanted to thank you for giving me an advice. You told me I think uh, quite a few days back. I don't remember exactly to attend this japa session. So actually, I used to study Bhagavad Gita. I used to listen to the discourses. I used to chant also during the daytime. If not 16 rounds, but at least 8 to 10 rounds. Then since when you told me, Prabhuji, to attend the japa session in the morning, since then I started joining right at 4:30, sometimes quarter to 5, right then. And immediately I was given opportunity to chant. And Prabhuji, it is so, surprising and inspiring that the chanting that I do at that time, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, whatever it is, and like it's with complete concentration. I don't have to pull out my mind. My mind doesn't go elsewhere. That is the best thing I could feel, and I am very glad about it. And then by 6:30, I complete 8 rounds at a stretch, go on and on. And then after that, I have other things to do. Then the other 8 rounds I do in the next part of the day, and even sometimes in the evening before going to bed. But the japa that I do in the morning, that 4:30, 5 o'clock, I mean, it's with complete concentration, and I don't have to, my mind doesn't go elsewhere. It's so delight. It's such a delight. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing this realization, Mataji, and that's so true. If you really chant, and especially when you chant loudly, when you are chanting and you know everyone is listening, you chant. I don't know, but somehow your chanting becomes actually very very when you're very very consciously, and it very becomes very sublime and very beautiful. That's why I encourage everyone, especially all the new devotees, to join these sessions and participate. Volunteer for chanting one round loudly, so that and you'll remember that throughout the day, whatever you have chanted on the microphone, those are your best rounds. Generally,
Yes.
that's generally the case. Yeah. So thank you for sharing, and we encourage everyone, all 50, 60 of you all of you should come on the japa sessions and take rounds, uh, take turns to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So thank you so much for sharing. So yes, Prabhuji, Vikasoji, we can go to the questions, if any.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. One question was, Prabhuji, from Prakash Sharma, Prabhuji. And he was asking that during these days of Navratri, can we worship Ma Durga and keep fast as worship to Ma Durga? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. So there's no need, but if you've been doing it, like many people come to Krishna consciousness, but they've been doing this fast and for long, long time. If you want, you can do that, but you should understand the tattva behind it. That Mother Durga is the maintainer of this material world. It's like by praying to Mother Durga and dancing to the tune of Garba, you cannot please her, and you cannot escape the miseries of this material world, because she is here to give you those miseries, unfortunately. And so it's very unfortunate the way the current Navratri festival is celebrated in public, with on the Bollywood songs and all that. But so very unfortunate, and very little hope that those people will turn to. I mean, what kind of devotees probably they are? It's very difficult to see them doing those things in front of Ma Durga, and what pleasure they think she's getting by seeing them dance on those Bollywood songs is only they can imagine. But at our personal level, if you want, if there is, if you have been doing it and if you want to do it, feel free to do it. But there is no need to do it. If you Even if you don't do it, that's all right. Just offer food to Krishna every day. Even if you are fasting, offer food to Krishna. Uh, and Krishna don't keep Lord on fasting. It's not his fast. If you want to fast, you fast. If it's okay, if you cannot give up that kind of a thing, but otherwise there's no need. But even if you fast, choose to fast, you cook something nice every day and offer it to Krishna and distribute it as prasad. You'll always find somebody who is not fasting. You can offer to them as prasad. But as I said, there's no need to do it per se. Okay, Bruji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. In this connection, actually, I was also asking this Prabhuji, like in Jagannath Puri, we offer it to Jagannath Ji, and then it goes to Vimla Mata. So can we take like our faith from there, that ultimately in Dhams also it is being done like that, that we are respecting other demigods, and but ultimately primarily the source is from Lord Krishna. So maybe we can try to console our mind in that way, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
There's no, I mean, if, as I said, if you are very attached to those fast, do those fast. But offer food to Krishna and distribute it as prasad. So it's a physical austerity that you may end up performing, and pray to Mother Durga to give you devotional service towards Lord Krishna. She is also serving Krishna. She is also help helping all. She will be happy if you become pure devotee of Krishna. One customer less for her. So that's okay. She has so
Yes,
many. She has. She doesn't. She's not short of customers. She's less bothered. One or two
literally,
may go
Prabhuji.
back to Godhead. That's okay. She has so many to look after. So that's fine.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And when is Maheshwar Tripathi Prabhuji, actually he was unmuting Prabhuji. I don't know whether he muted for.
Is
Yes,
he
he is
there?
still on unmute.
Yes.
Yes,
Maheshwar
Prabhuji.
Ji, you can speak if you want. Have a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, you can speak. I can hear you. Meanwhile, Sadhna Mataji, if you have a question, you can ask. We can come back to Maheshwar Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji. प्रभुजी जैसे जपा सेक्शन का मैं बहुत मतलब ये जो भगवत गीता सेक्शन है प्रभुजी एक मिनट मतलब ये भगवत गीता सेक्शन में बहुत दिनों से मतलब अभी ऑलमोस्ट बहुत दिन हो गए मतलब 1 ईयर आएगा शायद 6-7 महीना हो गया मैं अटेंड
I'm not able to hear Mataji. I don't know. It's my problem with me or
No, Prabhuji, Mataji is not
your
audible
voice
actually.
is not there. Okay.
After she said 6 months हो गया है, तो उसके बाद she is not audible.
So, okay, Mataji, if you have, you're able to speak? No. I think let them connect offline. I'll connect with them offline. If there are no other questions, I think we can conclude today's session. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. And
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु
माता जी आपका वॉइस नहीं आ रहा
हरे
था।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी
हाँ अभी बेटर है।
अ, हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी अब मेरा क्वेश्चन है मतलब आपको अभी मतलब क्लियरली हुआ सर हुआ हो गया
नहीं नहीं
क्लियरली सुनाई पड़ा है ऐसा मैं बोल रही हूँ
नहीं माता
कि
जी
मैं
सुनाई
उठ ही
नहीं
नहीं
दे।
पाती हूँ या तो रात को सो नहीं पाती हूँ
सॉरी कैन यू रिपीट योर
एक्चुअली
क्वेश्चन?
मैं जिस दिन यस प्रभु जी मतलब जिस दिन मैं सोचती हूँ कि मैं कल वो जपा सेशन अटेंड करूंगी उस दिन ही मैं सो नहीं पाती मैं मोस्टली सो ही नहीं पाती हूँ रात को प्रभु जी रात को नींद ही नहीं आ जाती है और इन केस में जल्दी भी सो गई तो मैं फिर 12 या 1 को फिर उठ जाती हूँ या फिर 2 बीच में उठ जाती हूँ फिर सोने में फिर 1-2 घंटा लग जाता है 1 घंटा तो ऑलमोस्ट लग जाता है नींद का बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है मतलब जी जपा करने का बहुत इच्छा है पर मैं अकेली तो नहीं कर पाती दिन भर में फिर वो कल थोड़ी देर में ऐसा होता है मैं ऐसा सोच रही हूँ कि जपा ऐसा ऑनलाइन कर लूँ तो फिर एक राउंड भी तो अच्छा रहेगा ऐसा एक दिन करती हूँ फिर कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं है प्रॉपर अभी ये मेरा बोलूँ तो 1 ईयर से यही प्रॉब्लम है मेरा कंसिस्टेंसी आ ही नहीं रहा मेरे
सो माता जी दैट्स हाँ थोड़ा सा ना वो अभी वी आर इन गृहस्थ आश्रम। सो तो गृहस्थ आश्रम में अप्स एंड डाउन्स होते रहते हैं, दैट्स ट्रू। एंड so you know so what we have to have is a strong desire to have and a prayer to Lord that allow me to I want to do this, please help me do this. If with his mercy you will be able to do it. With on your own effort you may not be able to do it. So all you need to do is to express desire and offer prayer to Lord, expressing your desire that you want to attend morning japa sessions. Please facilitate, please help, and then he will arrange. And at times, as a matter of discipline, you start attending. Even if you are not able to chant at that time, you listen to other people chanting, but start showing up. Just wake up and just switch on the phone and then carry on with your duties. So at least you will show up. It's important to show up first initially, and then every day by showing up, you will feel inspired to chant also. So so because you are associated with devotees, the devotees are talking, devotees are chanting, devotees are the one devotees chant very nicely, some devotees sing some prayers very nicely. So you see all of that, and then because you are not their association, from that association you feel inspired to do what they are doing, and then Lord can arrange things to happen in the way that facilitate you to do those things. So have a desire, have a prayer, and do your endeavor. Try your best to do it, and then Lord will arrange. Okay.
को थैंक यू बट मुझे ऐसा मतलब ये सब ऐसे बोलते हैं ना भक्ति सब इंटरलिंक्ड है मतलब हम लोग जो फूड है हम लोग का फूड से रिलेटेड है हम लोग जो फूड खाते हैं फिर उसकी वजह से हम लोग उठ नहीं पाते मतलब नॉन वेज तो बंद किया है अभी 2-3 ईयर्स हो गया ऑनियन गार्लिक मतलब मुझे मुझे खुद को ठीक से बनाना नहीं आ रहा है ऑनियन गार्लिक के बिना तो मैं कुछ कुछ बनाती हूँ ऑनियन गार्लिक के बिना और तो मैं सोच रही हूँ कि मैं पहले फूड को छोड़ू या जपा करूँ ये होएगा तो ये होएगा या फिर ये होएगा तो ये मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है मैं पूरा हरे कृष्णा बन जाऊं मतलब फूड ऑफर करके मतलब जो हरे कृष्णा का
So
जो
we'll
भी है डेली
correct.
कृष्णा
So
बन के सो
guide
जाऊं
you.
ऐसा मेरा
We'll
इच्छा है
help you with the recipes that I can do. Not I'll connect you with someone who can help you with the recipes, और वो आपको recipes का तो कर देंगे, setting हो जाएगा. So your food problems can be easily taken care of. And अब रही बात early morning, getting up early morning, it's a matter of, I think there could be some medical issue that needs to be fixed at medical level. But apart from that, if it's a jugglery between the timing, the बच्चों का study, husband coming late, to going early, all of that, some of those things will continue. Like tomorrow morning, 5:30, I have to leave, so I'll not be able to attend full japa. So all of those things will continue. But our desire, everyday desire should be to perform devotional service. So that desire, no one can take away from us. We should always have that desire. We should always do some endeavor to fulfill that desire. That way we show Lord our sincerity. As Subhash said, that our intent and our actions both should be aligned. If we only show intent and don't take any action, that's not enough to impress Lord. If we do action but there is no intent, there is no love, there is no affection, then that also not impressive. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it, but you don't believe the Krishna exists. कृष्णा भी होता है, भगवान होता ही नहीं है, और पता नहीं ये लोग बोलते हैं इसके लिए मैं कर रहा हूँ. So that way that you show action but there's no intent, Lord is not impressed. But there is intent but there's no action, again Lord is not impressed. When you show both intent and action, then Krishna will be impressed. Krishna will be happy to arrange things in such a way that that can help you streamline your schedule and join japa session every day.
Okay,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Guruji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So, Subhash Guruji, you have a question or you have a comment?
I just want to add on to that, Prabhuji, if you permit. See, they say, Vishwase dradta suye paraninda vivarjanam titiksha matbhedesu pranimatreshu mitrata. So if we have actually that kind of devotion, that kind of dedication, then it may take time, but naturally things come. Because nothing happens without the blessings of Lord Sri Krishna. And when the blessings come, naturally things will happen. Karma, whatever karma, intention, action, that is in our hand. But God definitely, it may take time because of our sanchit karmas and all that. But things always fall in line. That is my belief. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing. So with this, we'll conclude today's session. Thank you, everyone. Everyone have very Krishna conscious week ahead, and we will continue with our discussion of chapter 2 in our next session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hare Krishna. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
जी दंडवत
Gaur
प्रणाम.
Premanande. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to everyone.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat
Thank you very
pranam.
much.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Pranam. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Deepest gratitude, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.